Hello, everybody, and thank you for being here. I'm so excited. This is actually our last class for our wellness education series, and then we won't be doing this again for a few months. I think it's like 2 or 3 months before we run it again. So
Yeah,
I am
it goes way out to October, if you believe that.
October, yes. So I'm so glad for the people who are here live. This is going to be a fun class. We're going to be talking all about pain, essential oils and pain. Let me go through just a little bit of housekeeping really quickly before we jump into the material here. Um, you guys, we want you to comment during the class. If you can, go ahead and comment in the chats. If you've got a mobile phone and you're not sure how to do that, just tap the screen and this little bar should pop up. And if you tap on participants, your chat bar will come up and then you can type and hit the little send button. And we want you to comment because, like I said, this is the 8th class. If you attend all 8 and or watch all 8 and send in your Google Forms, you will earn a free diffuser. And actually, just a shout out for next week. We are going to have a live celebration. It's going to be in person for whoever can come in person. And then we're going to zoom in the people who've been attending long distance. And we're going to celebrate that you guys are graduating and that you guys are earning your free diffuser. So super exciting. Watch for details. There will be an invite. It's not up on Facebook yet, but there'll be an invite on Facebook so you could see the details. But it is going to be live at Amanda's house next week, and it'll be starting at 6:45, right? So we would love to see you there if you are local and you can come, and there'll be goodies. From what I hear, there'll be drinks that you can put oils in. There'll be treats with oils in them, and there'll be a station to do Symphony of the Cells, and probably some other goodies. But I won't give it all away.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun though. Yeah, and we just at first we were just gonna make it kind of like celebration to give you guys diffusers and stuff like that. But then we're like, well, just because people didn't go through this particular round doesn't mean that they aren't appreciated. So let's just invite everybody, and they can even bring a friend if they want or whatever. So, but yeah, just feeling good to kind of get back into the swing of being able to meet up face to face again and yeah, really looking forward to it. So
Yep.
hope you local peeps come.
Yes. Here's some information. If you still don't know how to reach Amanda, there's her email, her YouTube channel with lots of great videos, and then her doTERRA phone number. If you guys want to take a screenshot of that, I'll leave it up for one more second. And then we really love, one of the things that we do is to provide community for all of you. Once you open your account, we want you to really feel like you're part of our little family, our doTERRA family. And so there's a couple of Facebook groups that you can jump on. There's our essential oil place that if we haven't sent you an invite to that, please let us know. Or you can try to Google it or whatever, search it on Facebook. It's our essential oil place. You do need your doTERRA account to be a member, but this is a nice big group. It's a great place to put a question up, and then people will answer you there. All kinds of people from all kinds of places will answer, and they answer pretty quickly. So it's a great resource. And then there's Amanda's page, Enamored with Nature Oil Education. This is a fun page where Amanda puts a lot of information, maybe a little bit more geared towards moms and kids, but there we all post on there. You guys are welcome to post on there. Sometimes people post questions. Sometimes we just post fun games or advice, things like that. But anyways, so those are two great ways to kind of just plug into our community. And then you should have gotten a welcome letter, something like this. If you haven't gotten a welcome letter with all these great links and all this great information, touch base with whoever invited you to watch this video, and they will make sure that you get that. All right. Ooh. So today we are talking about pain. I do kind of want to just preface it. I'll try to say it as we're going through the class sheet, but if at any point I forget to say it, or I may sound like I'm saying the opposite of what I'm about to say, I'm not. What I want to say is if you feel that you need to go to a doctor, I'm not trying to say at any point during this presentation that doctors are bad or don't go to doctors or don't use them as a resource. There's a place, a time and a place to go to a doctor and seek medical help, and do that if you need to. But what we're hoping to show you here is that there are options and other choices. And we really hope that through this video, you'll get the idea that you can reach your natural solutions first. So I just wanted to preface that. And let me share this sheet. Amanda, I don't know if you put a link for the class sheet in the chat yet or not.
I would be
But if
happy
you
to
want
do
to,
that right now. Yes.
that would be awesome. So our class sheet for today. So let's start with question number one for the people who are live. And I believe this one's on your Google form as well. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your pain in the following categories? Because pain is not just what we think of normally, like physical pain. That could just be one of many kinds of pains that we're dealing with. So chronic pain, that could be the physical, there's emotional pain, there's different levels of pain. So chronic pain, is that something that's part of your daily life? One being, no, not at all. And 10 being like, yes, I deal with chronic pain. And chronic pain is more of kind of like a long-term debilitating thing, like maybe constant arthritis or may fibromyalgia or something like, I don't know, something where it's constant. Is that a part of your life? Emotional pain is a harder one because we don't always maybe associate emotional pain with like pain, but it is pain, and emotional pain can manifest itself in different ways, like maybe digestive issues or tension in your neck, or different things. So emotional pain, again, a 1 being like, my emotions are perfectly under control, or a 10 being like, sometimes I just cannot get out of bed because I just feel so blue, that I just can't do it. And then occasional pain is kind of like, you're more like, oh, my bad knee acts up every time it rains, or that old injury flares up when the pressures are funny, or I get headaches every now and then. So things like that, occasional pain. If you want to put in the comments your numbers, so we have an idea, like just you can put like 3 numbers and we'll know it's like chronic, emotional, and occasional pain. The other thing I like about this little sheet, the class sheet, if you guys don't have it, if you guys want to print it out or something, Amanda did put the link in the chats, but this is a fun little thing if you want to print it out, because after you kind of rate your pain, it's good to kind of look at this little picture. It's almost like when you go to a doctor's office and they tell you put an X wherever the pain is. So you can, talk to your spouse and see where their pain points are, evaluate yourself, and you can even do this for your kids and kind of ask yourself, where is it that I need the most support? And, do you have tension in your neck? Maybe it's your feet. I'm working with somebody who has plantar fasciitis, so they would probably put a little X on their feet. Right now, I have a lot of pain in my one knee and my hip. So I would probably put X's there because that's where I need the most support right now. But just to kind of be able to evaluate your body as we go through, to think, where do I need the most support? Because at the end of this, when we get toward the end of this class, I'm going to be presenting different kits that we can kind of put together to address different kinds of pain, as well as different just different kinds of pain. So this will kind of help you as we go through those kits to know, oh, this is the one I think is what I need. Then I guess before I get into the LLV, do we want to take just a quick break to look? Did anybody answer any questions?
Yeah, we had a couple people. One person said that they have 8s on pretty much every area all in a row. Someone else said 7s. A couple people mentioned specifically the emotional side is only like a 3 or a 5. And another person said that occasionally they have about an 8-ish. I'm going to pop in here for a second too. I used to feel like I had like a pretty normal amount of pain just for any old mom of 5. And since I've been doing that lifelong vitality supplements more consistently, I don't think I realized how in pain I was way back then, compared to what I feel like now, and big difference. But I'm probably stealing the show, so I'll stop talking.
That's okay. No, I appreciate that because it made me think of too. Yes, I know I didn't think my emotional pain was an issue in me, because I was very much of I just don't deal with emotions. I'm very logical. I've got them under control. You just don't talk about them. And then I started using Copaiba. And I was using it actually for my neck because I had pain in my neck. And when that kind of got better, I kind of stopped using it. I wasn't as consistent as I used to be. And I realized, I remember telling Amanda, I'm just having a bad like week. I just feel blah. I don't know what's going on. I don't have energy. And I had a little just like, I didn't really want to go out. I didn't want to do anything. And then it dawned on me, the copaiba has been helping me emotionally. I didn't realize, I call it the oil I didn't know I needed. I didn't realize I had been struggling with some social anxiety, really is what it comes down to. I call myself a high functioning introvert because I kind of would just, pull myself up by my bootstraps and get out there and do it because you have to do it. And I didn't realize how actually hard it was for me until I started using copaiba and then stopped and realized it could actually not be this hard. And so sometimes you just don't realize the pain that you are in or what you're struggling with. So the oils can kind of end up helping you in ways that you don't realize.
Totally
I
agree.
appreciate that. Thanks for reminding me. So we're going to jump right in here and talk. Before we start talking about oils or adding oils into your life or what oils work for pain, we have to start by looking at this pyramid and looking at the foundation. This is kind of like a wellness pyramid and kind of your different levels to help you stay healthy. And it all starts with like your basement, your foundation of eating right. If we can eat right, if we can exercise and manage our weight, if we can manage our stress and then reduce our toxic load, this lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, will help us in our healthcare in general. If we can do this well and then add on to that informed self-care by like using our oils, knowing what natural solutions we have at our fingertips and choosing those first, then we can get to this point where we're, using proactive medical care. But it all kind of starts with this foundation of eating right. And just a couple of things to point out. The foundation of all health and what builds the strongest body is the fuel you put inside your body. Basically, everything we eat either feeds disease or it fights disease. So one of the things that we can do, just the simplest thing, is get the best nutritional foundation, and that has to be LLV. I know if you've been through all of these classes, you've probably heard LLV in every single one, but this is one where I have to really stress it the most because it is foundational. LLV was not necessarily a supplement put together to reinforce what's missing as much as it was to kind of help help us emotionally to have better emotional health, to help us have more energy. It's been put together with very bioavailable ingredients, so your body knows what to do with it. Basically, I had somebody say, if anybody gets on LLV for 30 days and stops, they will notice it. That's how much of an impact LLV can have on your life. So, and it is three bottles. It's your vitamins, your omegas, and your antioxidants. So, and how does LLV support us or pain in particular? So, it supports chronic pain by providing a healthy response to oxidative stress. That's kind of our bad stress that we want to not have prolonged in our life. It's what causes disease in the long term. It supports bone health with calcium, magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D. And that bone health, we want to be healthy, our bones from the inside out, because that's going to support our joint pain, what we normally think of as pain, things like inflammation and things like that. It supports healthy joint function and comfort. So all those things that kind of lead into chronic pain, it will support. Then emotional pain, and who, again, with everything going on right now, does not need some emotional pain support. We again, we don't realize how much the outside is affecting us sometimes until we actually have something that makes us feel good, and then we take it away and we realize, oh my gosh. So it supports mental clarity and brain function. It provides a wide range of omega-3 fatty acids for gut and cognitive support. So, our brain, it needs all of these fatty acids. If we're not providing it, our brain can't do the emotional support it needs to do. So, and our gut has so much to do with our immune system and how we deal with stress. So if our gut is out of whack, it's gonna affect our whole emotional response and how we deal with stress. And then it protects against lipid oxidation and supports healthy function of the brain, eyes, and nervous system. Then it supports occasional pain. It provides powerful foundational support of vital minerals and vitamins to keep your body performing at peak performance. It also is optimal for recovery. This is one that I love, and it's something that a lot of athletes that have gotten on the LLV have noticed that over time, the LLV helps them recuperate faster from workouts and things like that. Right now, I'm actually going through a cleanse where I'm using the LLV among other things. And I'm finding after my long runs, I'm actually not having pain. Before I was doing not quite the whole dose of LLV. Right now, I'm taking the whole dose of LLV plus some other things. Um, I would do some long runs and I would be in pain all day. Since I started the cleanse and have been doing my full dose and taking all the supplements, I've actually been able to do my long runs and not been in pain all day. I've been able to recuperate a lot faster, which is really, as for me, it's great. I love it. All right, before we jump on, any questions for any of that? I know we harp on LLV, but any thoughts, any questions? All right, I'm going to keep going then. So the dangers of prescription medications. So again, I don't want to say at any point that doctors are bad. If you need to go to a doctor, go to a doctor. They're there for a reason. They're great to give us a diagnosis. They're great to point us in the right direction. But sometimes there might be some bad things that come from it. So doctors should have told you if you are on pain medications of any kind. They should have told you what the warnings are and what the dangers are and what the side effects are, but sometimes they don't. I'm not going to assume that they have, so I want to just give you a little bit of education on that so that you will know some of the dangers of prescription medications. So prescription medications can cause more deaths than car accidents, over 37,000. And this is actually, I'm not sure when this tear sheet was made, so this might be even more now. They're considered safe, especially by teens, because they were prescribed and they're legal. So this is a big one. They're considered safe. Again, it's going back to the idea of, well, a medical professional person gave this to me, so it must be safe and we trust them. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but I am saying we should be asking questions and we should be our own best proponent. Ask questions, look at the side effect, read up on what they're offering you. And then, maybe ask yourself, do we need it? Do I really need this? Can I try something else? Just so you're aware, just because they give you a prescription for something, you don't have to take it. Ask questions. They give a false sense of euphoria, which is temporary, but can quickly lead to addiction. So just like with any addictive chemical, you get this like immediate high, and then it becomes this law of diminishing returns, where the same amount might not give you the same result. And then all of a sudden you find that you need more and more and more, and it ends up leading to addiction. And so not every single one, and not everybody's going to end up being addicted, but it is a possibility. So it's something to have in the back of your mind. Then withdrawal symptoms. So you do end up taking meds because you need them for a pain. Maybe you had surgery, maybe you broke a bone or something, and you're on pain medicine to help manage the pain. Then there's withdrawal symptoms, and they're not always pleasant, like insomnia or leg spasms, vomiting. It's just not fun. And so again, the doctors may not always warn you about that. So be aware that if you do get on these medicines, something as short as 2 weeks could be enough for you to end up having some withdrawal symptoms. And so you want to be aware of that possibility. Then the fact that they're overprescribed. An estimated 90% of people with chronic pain are prescribed opioids medication specifically designed for short-term solutions, even despite evidence indicating that non-drug treatments may provide relief with less risk. So sometimes maybe you did break a leg and you do need some pain meds, and you're prescribed these pain meds, or you have a less severe injury, like maybe you have a bad sprain or something like that, or like a smaller fracture of some sort, and you are prescribed medicine. I recently heard a story of a woman who had a stress fracture, and the doctor gave her 2 weeks worth of opioids to control the pain. And she took one for the first night because she felt like she was in a lot of pain and needed the relief for the first night. And she didn't like how it felt. So she was like, well, let me see how I do the second and third day. And by the third day, she was up and walking and the pain was under control. She was able to manage it without the opioids, but the doctor had given her 2 weeks worth of opioids. And so if she had just unquestioningly taken the 2 weeks worth of meds and not listened to her body, she would have ended up at this, false sense of euphoria, probably, and with some symptoms of withdrawal when she got off of them. And who knows what would have happened? Would she have ended up addicted? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But the point is, she didn't need 2 weeks worth of medications. She just needed a couple of days. And so it's just something to be aware of, that sometimes the doctor may not always have your best interest. He might just, or she might just be giving you a script for 2 weeks because that's what they're used to doing. So ask questions, be aware of what's going on and what you're getting. And in digestive shutdown, this one is a big one for me. Over time, the opioids and the medications, pain meds, will slow down your bowels, causing constipation, bloating, or nausea that can lead to what's called narcotic bowel syndrome. And this one's a big one because I saw my dad deal with this toward the end of his life. He was in a lot of pain. And my mom would often tell me that he would get backed up and then he didn't want to eat. And so he would lose weight. And it was a very vicious cycle. And so he was in a lot of pain at the end of his life. And it was just so hard to balance that. It's almost that you fall into the trap of, you get one pill for this, and then you end up getting another pill for what this caused, and then you get another pill for the side effects of the pill that's helping the side effects of the first pill, and it just becomes this spiral of just there is overwhelming evidence that natural treatments are effective and safe. So why are they less prevalent? Mostly because natural treatments take time and effort while drugs do not. It's super easy to pop a pill and be done with it for 24 hours. In fact, that's one of the things that I was definitely a pill popper. I used to get headaches that I called either 2 ibuprofen headaches or 4 ibuprofen headaches. And so I I literally would just grab 4 ibuprofen and take them if it was a really bad headache. And I had been told by a doctor that 800 milligrams of ibuprofen was fine. You could take 800 milligrams 3 times a day, and it was fine. So that's what I did. I had my little 200 milligram pills, and I took 4 of them because that was 800 milligrams. I mentioned that to a nurse, and she was like, "That's fine, except you need the right kind of ibuprofen pills. It's not the 200 over the counter ones. You need 800 milligram ones that will dissolve properly. You're hurting your stomach if you do the 4 ibuprofen pills." And I was like, well, nobody told me that. Like, I wouldn't be doing 4 ibuprofen. And so nobody educated me on that. So just trying to drive from the point of, be your own advocate, research, learn what you're putting into your body, and ask questions. Do I really need this? Is it safe to take it this way? Is it going to interact with what I'm doing? All those kinds of questions, so you are aware. So my next question, if you guys could answer in the chats before I move on, is do you know someone who's a pill popper? Were you a pill popper? Are you no longer a pill popper? Do you want to stop being a pill popper like I did? While you guys answer that, I did want to share, when we get later to the head tension and migraine, I'll probably forget there, so I'll share it here because I'm remembering now. Having been a pill popper, I remember one of the things that I I did once I started, was I started cleaning out my pantry. And I got to a point where I was going to teach a class, and I woke up with a 4 ibuprofen headache. And Amanda had given me a protocol, because like when I first signed up, I got a really bad for ibuprofen headache, and I was at her house. And so she gave me the protocol that we have for migraines, and it really worked. And so I was like, what are those oils? I'm ordering them next month. They need to be in my house. And so I had them in my house. So I was going to teach a class, and I had a 4 ibuprofen headache. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go get ibuprofen. And I opened my pantry. I was like, I don't have ibuprofen because I cleaned out my pantry because it was expired and I didn't need it anymore. I have my oils. So I was like, okay, I know the protocol. I ran back to my room and I put one protocol on, and it took about a half hour, and I started feeling some relief, but it wasn't 100% gone. So I did another application, and about 2 or 3 hours later, I realized it's still lingering, but it's not as bad. So I did one more application. And by the time the class time started, the headache was gone. And it was one of the most empowering feelings to be like, I was able to pick natural solutions at my fingertips and get rid of this headache. I didn't have to use any chemicals or put anything in my body that I don't know or that gives me side effects that I don't want. And it just felt great. And so
You know,
that's
everyone wants that protocol now, right? Everybody's like dying.
yes, if you guys want the protocol, we can definitely remind me at the end, and I will definitely share that. Yeah, it's my passion now. That is, I want to teach people that they can reach for natural solutions first. So, did you get any answers to my question?
Tanisha shared that she is a pill popper because she has a lot of, she's also one who had higher rates of pain in the other areas as well. That she has a lot of issues that she's struggling with. She also says that she uses past tense a lot for migraines.
Yeah, that's an awesome one. Yeah. So, well, there's hope for the pill poppers. And it does take time. 4 ibuprofen might have wiped out that headache in a half hour. And it did take, 3 applications. And sometimes when I've had bad headaches, it's taken 3 applications, a half hour each one back to back. But it still feels so much better to know that I'm giving my body good stuff and not this like stuff that my body doesn't know what to do with. So there is hope for pill poppers to find what works for them. Let me find my sheet again. Here it is. All right. So if you are a pill popper, or if you have been on medications that are maybe some more serious medications, like maybe you are on meds for your emotions, for depression, or you have been on long-term pain medications, and you want to maybe start considering weaning yourself off of the pain meds, I do recommend, if you are seeing a doctor for the medications, that you do, talk to the doctor and ask them, let them know that you want to get off, and this is your plan. I would hope that your doctor is super supportive and wants you to get off medications, because they usually want you to kind of be better and get off of medications. If for some reason they're like, no, then maybe you want to talk to another doctor. I don't know. That would just be my 2 cents and find a doctor that will help you maybe move toward a more natural lifestyle. But work with them. If they're willing to work with you, work with them if you are on some real serious medications, because you don't want to just, jump off of something that's truly a high-end medication. But if you're just kind of like me, that was a 4 ibuprofen pill popper, or any other pills that I used to take that weren't prescribed necessarily, tips for weaning off those medications. You want to increase your water intake, because that's going to help flush out all the toxins and the bad stuff that you're taking in. Putting any of the citrus oils in your water is great. Citrus, grapefruit, lemon, tangerine, all of those citrus oils are wonderful for detox, and so they will help to clean you out from the inside out. Replace the habit. It's not always easy to just stop something cold turkey. I always remember my dad, he quit smoking because a friend of theirs died of cancer. And so he decided that was it. He was quitting, and he quit. He just quit. And I'm like, I can't do that. I need like a little slow buildup to quit. So try replacing the habit if it's too difficult to just quit. If you can't do that cold turkey, I'm done. Try a new habit. Every time your body wants that quick fix, you can maybe go to your diffuser, fill up your diffuser with a favorite blend and take 10 deep breaths, or do 10 push-ups if you can. Maybe take a walk and get fresh air. Drink a glass of water. What's going to happen is that over time, your brain is going to relearn new habits. It's going to figure out like, okay, when this happens, I don't need a pill. I just need to breathe some of those great oils that you gave me, or I just need to go out for a walk and get some fresh air. And so you can retrain your brain to help you start a new habit that's going to make it easier to quit. Again, the foundation of LLV and the supplements, take your LLV and whatever additional supplements you might need to help support whatever it is that you were using the pills for before. And then a big one is surrounding yourself with support. Sometimes you need to change your environment. If you are around people who are feeding into that addiction, you kind of need to find people who are going to support you and help you get out of that addiction. So if you need to, maybe just look for people around you that are going to support your new style of life. All right. We talked in class, is it 5, about Symphony of the Cells. It is a great way to get oils onto your body to support all different body systems and to have really fabulous results. This happens to be the inflammatory protocol. It's great. I actually do this on Tony a lot because of his back pain. I know you can go back and watch the class, but basically you start with frankincense. Just about all of the protocols start with that. Then you put on some carrier oil, and then you layer these oils down the spine, and whatever's left on your hand, you wipe on the feet. And so you just layer these one after another. And at the end with peppermint, you can put a little warm towel on top, because peppermint is your driver oil and it kind of helps dry those oils into the body. So that's a great one to do. But Symphony of the Cells, if you haven't seen the class, go watch the class. It is, again, just a great way to support your whole system.
Funny, actually, my husband asked for that one as well, and I know Natalia's husband. That's one that he likes to try as well. Like he'll ask for that one. So yeah, people who've experienced it, they know it works.
Yes, yeah, it's good stuff, and there's been a lot of research behind it. It's Boyd Truman who teaches that, I think it is, and so there's a lot of research. If you get the journal that accompanies the book, there's a lot of information in there that's it really backs up what they're saying. So, all right, so we have all these kits I'm going to talk about to kind of hone in on your pain, to be more specific, to see exactly what it is that you might need. So we're going to look at joint, muscle, emotional, digestive, and head tension, and what oils oils and supplements and products might help with those particular concerns. As always, the LLV is got to be your nutritional base. We're going to assume that you are starting with LLV and then adding these products on, depending what it is that you need. So for joint pain, turmeric is great. If you haven't seen the turmeric capsules, they're dual capsules. They have both the turmeric oil and the turmeric powder. One has the curcuminoids and the other has the terminoids, something like that.
Fumarones and the curcuminoids. Yeah, fumarones and curcuminoids.
Thank you, Amanda. And so interesting fact, when you make the oil, you sacrifice the other one. And when you make the powder, you sacrifice what's in the oil. So this is actually a capsule that has both. So you're not sacrificing either. And so your body can really absorb all the curcuminoids and what did you say?
The fumarones and the curcuminoids. Yeah. It's amazing too, because when you do have them together, then it's actually 8 times more powerful than just one or the other. And doTERRA has this amazing dual capsule, this patented thing that just hasn't really been done, and it took several years to develop it, but it's really, really great. In fact, I have a little bit of a story about it. I looked up to find. Now, I often don't. I'm not usually able to give my my little guy. He's only 5, but I had had a bad experience with my 5-year-old with a bee sting, and I did it a little thing for you guys. Maybe you can see. Hopefully this works out. So after 12 hours, it was like a little sting behind his ear. 12 hours, he got kind of puffed up, and then what did I do? At 20 plus hours, he was looking like this, and then this is after 32 hours, and this picture was at 36 hours. So you can see he really was having like a bad response to this sting. So there was a whole host of things that we did. Eventually, by the way, Roman chamomile is amazing to do this, but I didn't know it at the time. And so another thing that we found out that really helped a lot was this turmeric. And I put it in an essential oil, put the essential oil in like a clay bath, because like his face was just so inflamed. I just felt like I needed to give him a bath and a paste and stuff like that, to offer a little bit of relief. And then I also, even though I don't typically do this for someone so young, but I coached him through swallowing this dual capsule chamber, and we did it twice, and I just felt like it was a really drastic improvement from that. So I would just say, if you're worried about things being, he calls him, so whenever he sees pictures like this, he's like, oh, that's when I was a puffy guy. He calls himself puffy guy. So if you have puffy guy parts on your ankle, or on your, like, if you know you have puffy in your body, you're going to want to work with some of that turmeric dual capsule chamber.
Yeah, in fact, I love those right now for my running, because I've been dealing with a knee issue and a hip issue, and I've been taking, we'll see them, the polyphenol complex and the turmeric, and it's been making a big difference on my knee and in fact, I took a couple today because my knee was feeling kind of funny from my run yesterday. So, and it's feeling better. So, all right. All right, so the turmeric is great. The deep blue rub, it has a deep blue oil in there. It's great. Just a little bit of a difference. The deep blue rub is kind of more long-term affecting, while the oil is kind of fast affecting, if you want to think of it that way. And then your deep blue polyphenol complex. These are great. They have all the great stuff in there that helps with inflammation and pain. So that if you're having some joint issues, this is a great way to great products to add to your LLV. If you are dealing with muscle pain, so now you've worked out or something and you've got aches and pains, again, the turmeric pills are great. Copaiba is wonderful. It is a cannabinoid, and so it acts similarly to CBD, but better. It's more absorbable to the body than CBD oil is, and it's great for inflammation. And again, it's the oil, like I said, it's the oil I didn't know I needed. It's great for mood as well. It helps with kind of anxiety and some of those anxious thoughts and things like that. Marjoram is a wonderful relaxing oil. It's actually one of the oils in past tense, which past tense is kind of like the tension headache type of oil, because it helps release and relax. And so marjoram is great when you have tight muscles and you just need to relax. In fact, it's part of that migraine protocol, and you put it like on your jaw to help you relax. So marjoram is a great one. And again, your deep blue. So some of these are gonna overlap a little bit because they're all pain related. But so if you're dealing with muscle pain, this is a great combination of products right there to add to your LLV. If you're dealing with emotional pain, adaptive, we've talked about that before. It is a great system to deal with anxious thoughts, with any stress. It basically is its name. It helps you adapt to the situations that you're in. And it is a 3-part system. You can use them separately if you really want, but they really are meant to work together. There's the pills, which are kind of your long-term, to kind of keep you going. You just take as needed. And some people love to take these at night to help sleep. There's the oil that you can diffuse and have it in your home so that you could smell it. And then there's the touch roller that you can actually take with you so that those moments in the day where you just need to stop and breathe a minute, you can put some of that adaptive on, and it will help you cope with that stress. So that's a great package. So it's newer, but it has so many people have had great results with it. Then Elevation is a great mood enhancing oil. It has Melissa in there. It's just a great one. It's like sunshine in a bottle. And so you can be diffusing that, or you can just use a drop in your hands. And then frankincense. Frankincense is a great oil that's very stabilizing. He's basically good for anything. It's easier to talk about what he's not good for than what he is, but he's good for like calming, soothing, stabilizing. So it's a great one to diffuse. In fact, I've been enjoying frankincense with wild orange, or you can put a little bit throughout the day on your heart to just kind of help you get through the day. He's just a great oil. And then of course a diffuser. A diffuser is the best way, I think I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. It's the best way to get oils into the air, into yourself, and into people that might need it that don't know that they need it. So this package right here would be wonderful if you're dealing with emotional pain. Digestive pain, we didn't really get into that in the evaluating yourself, but digestive pain is something else that people deal with. So Terrazyme is those digestive enzymes that we need. If you don't have enough digestive enzymes, your body's going to rob metabolic enzymes to make do, and you don't want that. You want to save your metabolic enzymes, feed yourself on digestive enzymes if you can. So Terrazyme is your digestive enzyme. It's also going to help if you are eating healthy, it's going to help break down that food even better and get the nutrients out that you need to really set that foundation in that pyramid that we're looking at. Then PB Assist, it's your probiotics. We talked about gut earlier and how the different pain meds can affect your gut. The PB Assist is going to help replenish the good flora in your gut to get your immune system up and get your digestive system working better. And as you get your digestive system working better, you can adapt better to stress and handle stress better. So that's definitely a great thing. Then Digestin oil. This is a great one in conjunction with all of these things. It's just one. If you don't like the oil, you can get the gel caps, but otherwise you can take the oil and water. You can take a drop of oil and actually just rub it on your stomach. It's fabulous to help support your digestive system. If this is a little too strong, there's the kids version of Tamer, which instead of the peppermint, it has spearmint and then a couple of other more gentle oils. I really like the smell of Tamer, honestly. I use Digestin and I've come to enjoy it, but I don't really like I think it's the anise, and there's something else in there that I don't really like the smell of. And so it is what it is. I prefer Tamer, but they're both great. And then this is a newer product, the peppermint enteric coated pills. These are great if you have more lower and large intestine, like lower intestine pain. These are coated in such a way that they will make it through your stomach into like the lower intestines, so that it will help soothe all that area. And so this is a great one too if you're dealing with kind of more other issues and higher stomach pains. That's a great one to be taking. Again, so LLV with any of these for your digestive issues. And finally, head tension and migraines. So here are some great suggestions. Copaiba is a wonderful oil, again, for inflammation, for stress, and so it will help calm you. It's a good one. You can take like 2 of these if you're feeling a headache coming on and try to nip it in the bud. Because it's just the oil, and we say often little bits more often throughout the day yield better results. These, I believe, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's got 2 drops of oil in each soft gel. And so they you can take maybe a couple, and then in a few hours take a couple more, and in a few hours take a couple more if you're still in a lot of pain. But you can do that. So they are pretty safe that way. Frankincense, again, we mentioned them up here. Frankincense is a wonderful one for tension headache, for any sorts of headaches. It is in the migraine protocol. And in fact, the way you would do it, I wish I had the frankincense to show you, but you would put a drop on your thumb and push it to the roof of your mouth, way back to where the soft palate is, because it's a very thin area there between there and your brain. And so it kind of helps the oils get in there really fast. And then past tense, We talked about that before. It's got marjoram in there and some other great oils that will help relax tension. So I love to put that on my neck. And then eucalyptus is one that we often don't think about for pain, but it is a great one for pain as well as respiratory, but it helps with lowering inflammation and things like that. The migraine protocol, if you guys want to know what that is a drop of frankincense on your, here, let me, so you guys can see me. Okay. The migraine protocol is a drop of frankincense on your thumb that you rub on the roof of your mouth for about 30 seconds, a drop of peppermint under your tongue that you hold for about 30 seconds, a drop of marjoram along your jawline, because that helps you kind of relieve tension if you're migraine, you're sitting there like, clenching your teeth. So that helps relax. Past tense on the back of your neck, and then deep blue wherever it hurts. So that's the migraine protocol that I use. And in fact, I carry those oils with me at all times, just in case I get a headache. So I think, let me look at my little paper one more time. I think that is all that I have to share. So let me ask a question. Which of these kits would you like to add on to your LRP? We would love to hear that in the chats. But I saw, while I wrap up, you can answer while I wrap up. These are just some suggestions. Every body we know is different. And so if some of these don't seem to be working for you, talk to the person who invited you to this, your wellness advocate, and see, there are many other oils we can use. Like, I'm not listed here, as things like wintergreen, lemongrass is wonderful for ligaments. Yeah, there's just so many. I can't even, I know, like black spruce is great too for after workouts. There's so many more oils that we could show you, but I would be here for 2 or 3 hours talking about all the oils if we went through it all.
And I'm super surprised that Aroma Touch isn't there. I have found so much success with Aroma Touch, especially for moving, like, I don't know what to even call it, like just like muscle aches and pain, not even just muscles, but well, and my kids, as they're growing, sometimes end up with these weird pains, just kind of random things. And
Yep.
I mean, Marge is amazing. I connect with Marge every night pretty much before I go to sleep. It's either Marge or Aroma Touch that goes on the tops of my shoulders. But I'm like, how come we don't have Aroma Touch on this page? We need to.
Yeah. Aroma Touch Deep Blue. I mean, the oil is not on here. The lotion is on here, but I use Deep Blue. I love the blend of Deep Blue and Copaiba. That's a big one that I use a lot. So the point being,
in the comments that some people, like Tanisha, is saying that lemongrass is gold for pain, and I do agree. I've had a lot of people who have a lot of success with that, and Claudia is saying that both the digestive and the emotional pain kind of setup are very intriguing to her. It's just different things people go through. Yeah, get some support. It's again, just like what we had said before, it's really surprising how much like if you were using an oil for something that you didn't realize was so important, and you were getting this extra benefit, it's like, instead of a side effect that we normally think is being negative, it's like a side benefit. But then you stop using it, like Marcella's story about the Copaiba, and then you're like, why am I having such a hard time? Oh yeah, all my stress is back because I'm not getting the support that I need for the emotional or stress, craziness and things like that. And just more and more, when you have the oils in your home, you're more likely to use them, and especially if you have this kind of education. And that kind of, it brings me to, I guess, another point here as well. When I first started, so 85% of every single person who has an account with doTERRA, who loves doTERRA, who orders doTERRA, 85% of them only are concerned with being able to just live the wellness lifestyle. And that's totally cool, because doTERRA supports that kind of person with this kind of education, with all the podcasts, with all the YouTube. Like, seriously, some really great things out there. There's ebooks on the doTERRA website. There are just a vast amount of super supportive doctor presentations, or specialists in their field for all sorts of things. So the education is there for people who just want to live the wellness lifestyle. And we are super happy for that. But I ended up finding out that, well, I ended up being a number two person at first before I became number three. I found I'd had so many more solutions at my disposal. I had something to do when one of my friends from my homeschool group had a headache and had already taken their 4 ibuprofen or whatever. And I love being able to, I can't shut up about it. I just want to help people have some of these other solutions and to find something that works for them. And then eventually I had an experience that made me want to build, where I realized it wasn't just only about getting my products paid for, but also it made a big difference to me when I had an experience where my son bit his tongue. This is a different one than the one I showed you pictures of, although that guy who I showed you the pictures of was a baby. He's only 4 months old. And when my other guy was only 2 years and 4 months old, he bit his tongue so bad, and there was gushing, like a towel full of red. And if you can just imagine this desperate, wigged out mom who's trying to do all the things, getting the baby diaper changed and get the shoes on the kid, rushing to try to get to the emergency room, and then suddenly she remembers that she has this helichrysum. And I had said that I wasn't going to use this helichrysum because it was like $75 for a bottle, and I was a little freaked out by that. But I was like, hey, if I have it here, let's just give it a try. So I put some helichrysum on his tongue. It was amazing how fast the bleeding just totally slowed down. I did another drop about 10 minutes later, and then I was calling the kids in from the van because the diaper bag wasn't even ready by that time anyway. I was just realizing, you know what, this empowered me to be able to do at home what I thought that I needed to go to emergency room for, which was stop the crazy bleeding. And as I continued chatting through some things with my pediatrician father-in-law, I felt like that was the best choice, and it felt good to me. It felt empowered. And there was moments there that when I think back on them, I almost get like emotional about it because it meant so much to me to feel that empowered. And I started to think that, maybe this doesn't have to stop with me. Maybe I can teach other moms how to be empowered too. And maybe they can teach other moms how to be empowered. And I have also a passion for educating my kids and other kids and things like that too. So for me, this idea of making an impact, which I think you guys see, there on the as choice number 3, to build, to earn income and make an impact. And I'll tell you that doTERRA really supports that kind of person. With a very generous compensation plan that leads to being able to have a freedom lifestyle. When I say freedom lifestyle, I always think of this story. Have you guys heard about the hauling buckets versus building a pipeline? The main idea is this woman was doing her job of loading a massive stick on her shoulders each day and carrying buckets and buckets and buckets of water from the freshwater source up to her village. And as happens with everybody, there's going to be a bad day. There's going to be a twisted ankle or a sick kid. And for some reason, if that mom can't haul the buckets that day, there's no money. And just like you and I, if we're, working at Joanne Fabrics or wherever thing it may be, so then she got this idea: what if instead of only trying to work more hours and get more money that way, what if I start building a pipeline instead? And so diligently and consistently, with little bits of extra income, she would over time, over the years, build a pipeline so that one day she was able to turn on the spigot in a village. The people had water, which was awesome. She still got a little bit of money, which was awesome. But the bigger deal is that it enabled her to have just a lifestyle that she needed to have to be able to make bigger impact in the world. And so that's where it comes, for us, what is it that we're willing to do? Are we ready for the kind of thing where you can have some income doing something that you love and that you're passionate about and you feel like it's changing people's lives? If you are that kind of person, I hope that you will let me know that you want to start building a pipeline. And I have some very specific spots on my team that I would like to show you. and have you join in the fun. So what exactly would you be doing if you wanted to haul or to stop hauling buckets and only build that pipeline? Not only, I guess sometimes we have to have an interim period, right? But the things that you do are just these simple four things: sample, teach, enroll, and support. I give people, a try. Like, here, you're having an 8 ibuprofen headache or a 4 ibuprofen headache. Try this first. Let me do this protocol with you, with the margin on the jawline, past tense on the back of the neck and the shoulders, deep blue on the point of pain, frankincense on the roof of your mouth, peppermint under the tongue. Let's do these things. Let's get that migraine, gone for you. And I love when they know, they're like, oh my goodness, what was that you just did? How did that take it away? And people are often amazingly surprised and desperate to learn more. And I am delighted to help support them into learning more about those things. In my case, I often do either virtual or in-person classes, and but you could also join them up with one of my virtual classes as well. And then being able to help them find something that's a perfect fit for them, for their particular family's needs. Maybe if they have kids who have specific, issues with sleeplessness or something like that, right? Well, let's make sure that they get set up with something that works for them, and then continue to support them as they go, so that they know how to use what they got. And that's all it is. And what means the most to me is not just that I do feel like um, I have it good with where I'm at right now. I'm looking to do even more, but what I love is that it's not just about the pay. I love the free products that I get, and some of us, we get those kinds of things just because we're doing our loyalty rewards orders the right way and stuff like that. But there's other kind of incentives and things like that we can get if we're doing this as a business as well. Consider the fact that, man, oh man, I know if you're a mom like me, you know that typically we don't take care of ourselves very well. And there has been something that has changed when I started to become a product of the product. When I was telling people, hey, this is really gonna work, I had to have used it first for that, backache or whatever. And so my health has drastically improved over the years as I've started to really love and embrace all of these doTERRA products. Now, I already mentioned about living with purpose. It really thrills me to empower women and with these kinds of natural solutions. And so I love when I hear back stories about doing those kinds of things. And then here's the other big deal for me, is this whole idea of changing the world. Not only when I think about like the medical model that I would like to kind of disrupt just a little bit so that we're not dependent on it, but also this idea of just our global community. When we look at how people even on the other side of the world are being treated as different essential oils are harvested, or different lands are being like very much stripped of all their good things. doTERRA is someone who makes a firm stand, not only to not do those things, but to do the whole opposite, right? That the co-impact sourcing model, it's like, don't just like try to avoid it when you can, but like, let's make a whole like purposeful initiative in, I actually can't remember if it's 47 countries now. I probably have to look it up. It's something like that. But it's many of the places that they've been sourcing their oils are co-impact. And so they're higher rates of financial support for the people who are actually doing the growing and harvesting, yet no compromise on the purity and potency of these things. And then that allows us to be able to have a much better product than we've been able to have prior to doTERRA's existence. And I just love that. And they keep coming up with more ways to change the world. I just love that. So that, in a nutshell, is why I do what I do. And I'd love to talk to you guys more if you have more questions about it.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And I did realize I forgot to say the code word today. So I know we had picked something, but I think I want to change it, Amanda.
Okay. Change it. What do you want to
Can we make it natural choices first, maybe natural options first. How about just natural first?
Natural first. I like it. All
Natural
right.
first. Because I'm hoping that after today, you guys have realized that there are some natural solutions, and we hope that you will choose to try some natural solutions first, and just be aware that they're there, and know the how that yeah, it might not be as fast as popping a pill and getting over the pain in a half hour, an hour, or popping a pill and you're not going to have to worry about it for 12 or 24 hours. It might mean that you are putting on these oils, 5, 6, 8 times a day. But the benefits of that is, like I used to jokingly say, is you get side benefits instead of side effects. Like you take copaiba for pain in your neck and you realize it's helping you with your social anxiety. So these oils are so complex chemistry wise that they can do so much more than we sometimes we sometimes use them for. I'll use them for one thing, but then they'll help out with so many more things. So know that you have natural solutions that you can try first. And if that's the one thing you remember from the class, I will feel like I have succeeded.